Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm going to do a demo for you today. If you watched the last video, it was on using the pull rods. Well, now I'm going to use a stud gun, and now there's a million videos out there on how to use these, so there's really nothing new about that. But using the two side by side, I'm going to show you what problems you can run into with either one. So I got another dent right here. I'm going to sand the paint off of there and put a couple studs on it. Now we're just going to put a couple on here and show you some of the issues you can have with using either one of these, and it's kind of up to you to decide what you want to do. One of them, as you can see, when those get welded on, they actually heat the metal up and you can see it warp a little bit. So on thin metal anymore, sometimes they'll do a little bit more damage. But if you don't have access to the back side, they still do a good job. I know everybody is going to the stud gun that's built into your resistant spot welder, and those don't create quite as much heat. Pull these out. Okay, now we'll remove those. And you can see they'll burn up the galvanized on there. You do have to grind the paint, so you're doing a little more damage while you're using this as opposed to the pull rods. But one of the things with this, if it's a panel where you have no access to the back side, where you can't spray some kind of protectant, either your cavity wax or an epoxy primer, it burns up the E-coat on the back. This here, even though we've got a hole in it, I'm going to clean this off, bevel that edge, and I'm going to solder those shut, and then we'll look at the back side and see how it looks. Okay, I'm going to bevel these holes with the 1/4 inch bit. Just put a little bevel on there, a little more surface contact for the solder. And if you've seen my other videos on soldering stuff up, nothing different here, but once we get this done, we're going to take a look at the back side, see how it compares, and then we'll go from there. And to get the flux off of here, just some water and a toothbrush. Clean that off. Now if you look at the back side here, you can see what the stud gun did. It burned up the E-coating on there. Now there's probably going to be rust starting on there. Here there'll be a little, probably some rust if the solder didn't completely cover the metal. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm not going to do anything to the back side. This is just like representing something you're working on at the shop or your home where you can't get to the back side. So I'm going to just put a little epoxy primer over the front side just to protect that metal. And I'm going to set this fender outside for a while. This is first week of November in 2020. I'm going to let this sit outside in the elements till about March or April. I'm not going to do anything to this, just let it sit. And I don't know if that's a real world trial, but we'll see what it looks like in the spring, see how much rust is on there. Now the solder, the acid flux in there, it is corrosive. So if you're using it, if you can get to the back side, say it's a door panel or something where it's a bullet hole or a gouge you're soldering up, you can get to the back side with a little water and a brush, clean it up and put some epoxy on there, some seam sealer, whatever you can do. But if you can't get to the back side, you got the possibility of a little corrosion, but you're also going to have corrosion here. Or same thing if you're welding a patch in a panel. And if you can't get to the back side, you're burning everything up at the welder, so you're going to have some corrosion. So anyway, I'm going to set this outside and we'll come back to this about March or April, see what it looks like. And I don't know if that'll tell us anything really scientific, but just a couple of different things you can run into using the stud gun versus the pull rods. So, you know, you still have to go by manufacturer's recommendations. Some of them don't want holes drilled in. Now I know for quite a few years now, Ford Motor Company, they don't want you to use a stud gun on a door skin on a Ford Mustang. So, you know, you're kind of on your own, use your own discretion, but these are the kind of couple tools that are out there you can use. So thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.